Travel Habits here. I'd like to thank subscribers number 29 and 30. We're finally at 30 subscribers. Let's go! And yeah, recording another voiceover. This time around, things have changed slightly again, as you've probably started to understand is relatively common. Small changes, you just listen to your body and adapt as it goes, or at least I do. This is just me showing what I do after all. This time around I'm experimenting particularly with my push work, some type of contrast work. So one heavy set of 1 to 5 reps or around that, and then 2 sets of more hypertrophy focused work. And I'm using ring push-ups because I love ring push-ups. And then I just want something different, a slightly different range of motion for the heavy set, so I'm not always hitting the same key. For the pull, nothing's changed. I'm doing 3 sets of super wide, 5 kilos, feel heavy, and that's that. I'm trying to keep a neutral rib cage as I do the pulls as well. This has been something I've been experimenting with recently, and it's something I've been doing for considerably longer for the push, but I've only started now experimenting with it on the pull-ups, and it works tremendously as well, but it makes them so tough. Apart from that, something you've seen on some of the sets is that now I'm using a mouth guard for some of the sets, not only because as you've seen for the previous logs, through the previous logs, I bite my tongue a lot and I do a lot of facial expressions, and there is actual scientific reasoning behind you biting if you are not aware, so you can look into that. But here I'm just trying to see if I notice any significant difference with using a mouth guard and being able to really bite and involve my jaw, which of course you can't do to the same extent when you're biting your tongue, otherwise you'd cut your tongue off. I'm not doing it in every set. I'm just experimenting with the sets that I feel like doing it in. It's probably half of this workout. This was the first time I tried this. It was also, my girlfriend's recommendation for none of the reasons that I just gave. These are just my reasons. She just asked for me to try it out because she was scared that I was gonna fall, or like when I'm doing GM presses or something, if the barbell falls and I'm biting my tongue, it was unnecessary worry. But regardless, if it makes her happy, and also if it serves the purposes I gave previously, it's a nice experiment, so why not? Here's another set of the super wides, because if I'm recording 2 sets of push, it only makes sense to record 2 sets of pull. And yeah, you see how much I want to extend my rib cage and really go with the chin over, but I'm making a really conscious effort to stay stacked, centered, and you actually feel your shoulders significantly more like this. It's pretty interesting to see how much things change depending on the intent behind what you're doing. Yeah, then I move on to the isolation. What's been going on now is I do bicep isolation once a week, and I do tricep isolation another time a week, because we've gotten to the point, and I talked about this previously, that at some point I was gonna have to go down to triceps once a week, but I didn't yet because twice a week was working. Well, it no longer is. I got a slight tweak on my left tricep, gave it a little rest, and moved on to once a week tricep isolation. And yeah, on the bicep isolation, I've been experimenting as well, just little tweaks here and there, see if it makes a big difference for me. So I'm doing standing preacher curls and being much stricter and focused on relative motion And then I also tried the contrast stuff. Now for this week's dose of somewhat cohesive scattered thoughts. Don't be preoccupied with a single spot. See everything in its entirety, effortlessly. That's what it means to truly see. Preoccupied with a single leaf, you won't see the tree. Preoccupied with a single tree, you'll miss the entire forest. In the fitness industry, sales revolve around the promise of optimization. First, the public is sold the completely free lesson that they are wasting their precious time, spinning their wheels, what have you. And then they are presented with a simple and very cost-effective product that will fix their newly injected fear. For just $4.99, you'll gain access to a fountain of knowledge that will ensure you are maximizing your time. Training is simple, and that makes it hard. It's a long game, and for it to be playable, you need to understand this. There's no quick fix. Much like most meaningful things, it takes time. And from the health standpoint, which in my opinion should always matter, is something you would benefit from doing indefinitely. I plan to enjoy movement for life, so I work hard to make my practice sustainable and ensure its permanent place in my life. It's supposed to be fun. I'm not running after the optimal approach, whatever that means. I'm after a sustainable practice that allows me to have fun with my training and reach the objectives I'm gunning for. Forever evolving. I listen to my body, I adapt accordingly, and upon completing a goal, I set a new one. It's forever, so I have time.